All right.
Here we are. This is the recap video.
This is the recap video. This is it's all said and done.
If you haven't watched the live stream, we're going to give you the highlights. If you find some moments you want to go back and watch, you're definitely going to watch. There's some crazy dice rolling. This guy over here made an amazing amount of saves. But let's jump right in
to this Primaris Dragon. Primaris Dragon.
He took my dragons and used them against me. So we are playing Roboute versus Guilliman. He got the role to go first. Was that what you wanted? You wanted to move up?
So the only reason I wanted to go first is really to kind of take away some of your redeploy, because you being able to move 3 units, I feel like you absolutely could have got Mortarion turn 1.
Yeah.
And he would have been far enough back that it would have really robbed me of any turn 2 presence. So I didn't technically want to go first because foolishly I took grind him down, but it was it worked out. I mean, clearly it worked out. Rolling a ton of saves early on. I mean, in case you guys don't know, I don't know why more people aren't playing and really digging into Ultramarines, but the fact is this guy has unlocked a combo after combo after combo, and it's just such a hard-hitting army. And we've had hours and hours of discussion on how do you squeeze every little ounce out of that army? Yeah. And so, the real question is Mortarion should have died turn 1. No matter what, he should have died turn 1. I
literally shot him with my whole army. I didn't roll bad. I rolled pretty average, I think. We count up the numbers, but I think I rolled okay. This guy, on the other hand, rolled out of his mind.
Take 8 saves, I pass 7. 4 ups.
And then he makes you feel no pain, so he really didn't take any.
That's right.
And then, again and again and again. After my whole load of shooting, he still had 5 wounds left.
Yeah, he had 4 wounds. And one thing I want to talk about is you asked me before the game started, did I have a plan about how I wanted to set the terrain? And I did. I don't know. I mean, you kind of got into it with me a little bit, but I wanted to clog up the center of the board to try and give me more places to hide so that I could do what I did, which was give me enough time to get you in the center of the board so I can hold you in.
Yeah.
And that worked. That strategy was actually more powerful than I even thought.
Well, the fact that I put that force down and I went into it unknowing how it would just screw me, because he touched me in combat with the grab guys, and literally that was those grab guys aren't going anywhere. They survived 3 rounds of combat with your Death Lord.
Oh yeah, Lord of Contagion.
And it was just they're not dying, but they can't fall back far enough. And I thought I was going to get away. You killed enough guys, so I wasn't in the force. I had 1 guy left. I was going to grow him back. And then you're like, wait, I have a super stratagem. And then he got one more. So I was like, crap. I finally got away, but I didn't.
Yeah. There's so many stratagems that I wanted to use, but I think the design of the book it's very give and take.
Yeah.
If you want to lean into a particular strategy, you really got to lean into that. I felt like I had a lot of tools, but I wouldn't say that I had a
I don't know, the
toolkit army.
This list wasn't really maximized to your full benefit. We wanted to see Mortarion. That kind of limits what you can take.
Yeah.
You took 2 Plague Burst Crawls. Those guys are expensive, so now that really limits what you can take. So you go with the Battalion, now you're taking 2 HQs, and that even more limits. So it's well, if I want 3 elites, I can't take that patrol. And now that costs me that HQ. So we went back and forth all day long trying to figure out what he should take in his list. And quite honestly, I didn't know that you'd have much left, but you still have quite a bit left. That 10-man unit of Plague Marines, I never shot at him once.
Never shot at him once.
I was like, as much as I want to, I have other problems. I literally can't shoot.
It's weird that that unit, but the crazy part is it didn't really do anything all game except it planted the banner one time over there, and it was out on objectives.
It was enough guys to kill that 5-man squad. So I think you only had 5 guys. That would have been enough to kill that.
That's true.
That squad. It was able to wrap them, and so I couldn't get out of combat. I was trying to move over a wall, and I couldn't even move 3 inches away. It was just the guy couldn't get away. Stupid fairy man. Because his lord was through the wall. Maybe he wasn't 9 inches or 12 inches. I don't know, but he was far enough that I guess it didn't matter. But I couldn't get away.
Early on, I had the ability. Mortarion cast that power that boost my contagion range.
Yeah.
So in that turn 1 and turn 2 before Mortarion died, that was what we were trying to do, is boost his contagion range out to 12 inches so that you get stuck when you get anywhere near him. And I went back, and probably the biggest thing I had problem to figuring out what we were going to do was where to put the psychic powers. Because Mortarion, he's typically moving up. You know he's probably going to die at some point if your opponent has any kind of proper shooting. So then what powers are you okay going away?
Right.
And miasma, it actually didn't, it wasn't relevant late game. So I actually kind of would rather had miasma, I think, on Mortarion. And because really he's that, and when I say this, he's a big distraction card effects, and I'm a bug player at heart. So doing that, putting him out there and saying, hey, shoot at me, and here's all my buffs.
Yeah.
I really think I like that better, because then the Plaguecaster can sit back and really, he can buff the Contagion Lord, he can buff the Death Shroud Terminators, and then now that's a much scarier little death ball. I'm unsure, though, whether or not I want to go with a 10-man unit of Plague Marines or 2 5-man unit of Plague Marines. I feel like, I don't know, but I don't know where you get them from.
So yeah, the points is struck. You run out of points real quick especially when you take more. So like MVP, like if you had to pick one model or one unit in the game, MVP, what would
the Lord of Contagion? That guy was just money. I mean, he has been good, and I've played 3 practice games now, and in every game, he has just been good. He's a good fighter. He's durable. He gives great buffs. He's great synergy for this army. You take the Death Shroud guys with him, which I have done every time. I've taken Blight Lords, but I don't like those as much as the Death Shroud.
Yeah.
But he's just fantastic. And then Mortarion as a distraction card effects, if you let him get in there, he will kill whatever he touches for the most part. But those 2 guys were really the great units. The unsung heroes are the Plague Marines. Plague Burst Crawlers, they're swingy. So sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're really bad. I feel like they're an essential part of the army because you need that indirect fire.
Yeah.
And Hellbrute was interesting, but the low rate of fire, certainly struggled with that.
Yeah, I made 2 critical plays, which, coming back thinking about it, I pushed those attack bikes up to deny you primary into 5. That really cost me because it lets you charge me through the wall. Didn't kill all the attack bikes, but it did wound them. I could have drawn you out if you really wanted to attack them. And then I also charged the 10-man Intercessors, what was left of them, into that Rhino to get on that point. I wasn't going to stop you from scoring max. And the chances of me holding against those guys coming out of the booth, all I did was let you slingshot into the center.
Yeah.
And then touch you guys in the forest, which I was like, whatever, I'll just back up. Like, no, not in the forest, you won't. And
well,
mistakes were made. So
we just didn't understand. We knew that ability was good, but we didn't know it was that good.
Yeah, and then you're like 12 inches. I'm like, oh, that's everybody. Oh.
Yeah.
Nobody's moving.
Oh, I've got my feet caught in a sticky web.
Everyone's moving 3. This is not great. So that was the difference in the game. Morty making all the saves. I mean, other than I didn't have it, you pretty much hit everyone, so I didn't have anyone to shoot at besides that. So it wasn't like him living cost me much, other than maybe I pushed up a little farther than I wanted to with the attack bikes because I made that charge. So, the thing, some good lessons learned though.
Yeah. It's hard. Mortarion's the only unit in the army that I really felt like had a chance to go head to head with Guilliman.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, that makes me want to take it, right? But on the flip side, so many more things I feel like I could do if he wasn't in the list. That's 500 points. That's 2 more squads of Plague Marines.
So you're going to try to build the list without Morty?
Absolutely.
After seeing what he did?
There's so many combinations. Like, I want to go Plague Marine heavy. I want to go Terminator heavy. I want to go Mortal Wound spam. Like, there's so many Mortal Wound abilities in this army that it's just, you can build thing after thing after thing. And it all comes down to getting in close, getting stuck in with your opponent, and just chipping them away. It's so cool. So,
all right. Well, that wraps it up. Definitely go watch the live stream if you haven't watched the recording. See this crazy person using my dice against me, rolling. I don't even know what he rolled, but any normal person would probably be upset. But that was fantastic.
Dragon's attack, my man. And, Dragon's attack.
We'll definitely see you next time. I think we have another week before Dark Angels come out. So we'll have to see what we're playing next week. But the week after that, be looking for some Dark Angels. We're going to try to get the army done.
It's totally possible. You might see this guy play something that's not Ultramarines. Well, I appreciate it. Look forward to it.
Thanks for having me, Price. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.